You're watching a clip from the Club podcast.
Make sure you follow it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and give it a 5-star review.
So here you go, is a lovely clip from our podcast.
What's happening, everyone, and welcome to the Club. Before we get into this clip, I need to let you know that this club is brought to you by the wonderful folk of NordVPN. NordVPN is a truly fantastic service. If, like me, you have not had a VPN in your life, trust me, you need to get one. It will improve your life so significantly. NordVPN allows you to protect your browsing data. It allows you to view things from all over the world. What you effectively do is trick your computer to thinking that you are somewhere else. It is the gift that keeps giving, particularly for watching football matches that perhaps you shouldn't be watching. It's also so cheap. It is comparable to the price of a cup of coffee, and the people of NordVPN have been kind enough to partner with us. They have supported the club, and we would therefore ask you to support NordVPN for all of your VPN needs. There is a huge discount available at the moment. You get 4 months extra totally for free, and you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. One account allows you to partner with 6 different devices. So you pay for one account and you can partner with 6 different devices. And check this out, it is the Time Best Invention of the Year 2022. Enjoy the clip.
Let's talk about Tottenham, because they are, if you look in the OED, as Rory calls it, Spurs are there next to, bottle job in the dictionary, because it is in the dictionary.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
apparently
it's a big phrase. I've highlighted it in my dictionary.
In the last couple of weeks, Spurs have sacked Antonio Conte, replaced him with his assistant. That, by the way, I know we're kind of looking at hindsight now, but even at the time, it was the most bizarre decision. That's like sacking me, but leaving you and Buvey, you and Rory around. Yeah, it's like you may as well get rid of all 3 of us at the same time. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what you mean.
Because we come together.
Yeah,
and keep Stellini wasn't there before Conte, so why would you It just doesn't make sense for me. They keep Stellini around. The results don't get any better. They sack Stellini. Now his assistant is in charge, Ryan Mason. Ryan Mason is in charge, talking about potentially staying, by the way, permanently, which would be the most bizarre thing ever. Spurs have thrown away what could be Champions League football for them. It looks like Harry Kane's going to leave. Pochettino's going to Chelsea. It's all going wrong for Spurs right now. The only thing they've got to shout about is somehow they're still going about having the best stadium ever. But what does it matter when you're playing Europa Conference League football or Europa League football? Your striker and your captain wants to leave, and you get everything horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Let's not try to take the piss. What do you think's going wrong at Spurs?
Well, for me, it's Daniel Levy. I think there is an argument, as much as I'm trying to be devil's advocate as possible, there is an argument that he's done a fantastic job as a business owner for Spurs. He's managed to turn around a club that was kind of, I remember them being 5th, 6th, 7th with Juan de Ramos. They nearly got relegated. Harry Redknapp came in. But since that point, there's a real argument that he turned them into a financial institution where I know there's a couple of summers they didn't sign anyone, but they've got an unbelievable stadium. They've got a very, very good training ground. So on that small level, he's done miracles for Spurs. He's brought them into the 21st century. The stadium itself is symbolic of that. But apart from that, what he's done as a football owner is egregious. It's shambolic. I think the root cause for me is Pochettino. I think the way they sat Pochettino was poor. I think from the top down, they showed a lack of loyalty, a lack of direction. Going from Pochettino, where he brought in Dele Alli from MK Dons, for example, and then going to someone like Mourinho, Conte. This Spurs changed from an organic club that was hungry, fighting for things, a young squad. Someone like Eric Dyer came in. They played for the fans. The fans have never been so gassed in a good 30 years at Spurs. And then they turn into a club that's kind of signing luxury players, signing players in their prime, just trying to cut corners to win things. I think they should have looked up north, looked at Liverpool and thought, why can't we keep Pochettino for a good couple more years? It took Jurgen Klopp 3 or 4 years to get it right. And he had so much access to, signing good players like Salah, for example, comes in and he improves at Liverpool. Spurs are in that kind of market for those kind of European players that aren't world-class yet, that they can make world-class. And I think they should have stayed on that kind of trajectory a little bit earlier. And the fact that they've gone from Conte to Stellini is surely It's one of the worst managerial decisions I've ever seen in the Premier League. It reminds me of when Wolves sacked Mick McCarthy and they brought in Terry Connors, who it was just the same problem. Terry Connors ended up being the worst manager in the history of Premier League football. It is that kind of thing.
I don't think anyone expected that reference today. Well done.
It's like, you got to change it up.
Rory would be proud of that.
But it's football basics. Like, we sit here behind a desk doing a podcast about football. We've never run a business at that level. I'm not saying I could do what Daniel Levy does, but on a footballing level, if I had the power to sack Conte, and then you can sign anyone. All right, maybe it's not Nagelsmann, maybe it's not some mad manager out there, maybe it's not Luis Enrique right now. Of course, it's hard. Even Ryan Mason then makes a lot more sense because of the change. He did bring a bit of a change when he came in last time. But to keep Stellini, I mean, the guy's hairline's receding quicker than Tottenham Hotspur's Champions League hopes. Do you know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. It just doesn't look right on the eye. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, there's not much I can add to that. And the reason why is because I think you're spot on. I think for as many jokes as we like to make about Spurs being bottle jobs, although when we go back to the summer, and we look at the summer transfer window, everybody within the club and everybody surrounding the club and everybody was saying Spurs with Conte and those signings are going to challenge for the league. Now, you can look at some of those signings and say, were they the manager's problem? Therefore, it's the board's issue. Jed Spence, he was brought in. He's now out in France doing really well. But why was he brought in for Spurs? He never made an impact, although he probably should have. Was he the manager's signing, therefore? Although, to counteract that, how many clubs nowadays allow the manager to make all the signings? There's not many clubs that do that, you know what I mean? They all kind of delegate that responsibility. Even, we made this point a lot. Klopp didn't want Salah at the beginning stage. He wanted other players. So there are times when boards do make signings and it's not just the manager, and you've kind of got to get the best out of them. And everybody, apart from me, I said it at the time and I remember saying it on the overlap. You look at some of these signings, Perisic is 50 years old. Basuma has had his injury issues. I thought it was a great signing, but if he gets injured, then what? And you look at that now. Like Richarlison, you leave him on the bench, he's going to lose his head. Look at what's happening right now. And I think that's the case. So I think the business in hindsight wasn't great, but at the time they were praising it. Yeah. But you're right, the board, you can only blame them. Enoch, Daniel Levy, all these guys that are coming together to make the decisions. Even like Poch got left in the lurch so much, and then he leaves, and suddenly all these finances are available for different managers. But if Poch had that, then it's a different story. You know what I mean? I think, and now you've even let Poch potentially go to Chelsea.
Would you be livid about
Harry
that?
Kane's going to be looking to leave soon.
Would you be livid as a Spurs fan that you see Poch go to Chelsea? Are you livid? Would you be? Would it be an issue that you didn't fight for him? You didn't fight to bring him back?
Look, part of me goes, do you bring people back? Like, should you ever, go back once you've left? Should you go back? I don't know. Maybe not. But Spurs fans, they love that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They will be fuming.
Yeah.
That they're, I don't know if he's their greatest ever manager, but in modern times,
he is
greatest Premier League manager.
Easily.
Is their greatest Premier League manager, and you've allowed him to go to one of your nearest rivals. The only thing that could have been worse was him going to Arsenal. And he's potentially going to have the resources there now. Imagine Pochettino wins a trophy.
He'll win a league.
At Chelsea. How mad it's going to be at White Hart Lane.
Yeah, it's going to be fire.
White Hart Lane could be second behind Chelsea winning the league.
Yeah.
But there's going to be murders at White Hart Lane because...
Well, there won't be because they're all sedated eating their cheese in their cheese room. This isn't the old White Hart Lane, Adam, mate. This is the modern world.
Our pints pour from the bottom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
mate.
You're getting banged by Pochettino with the real squad at Chelsea Football Club. As much as I don't like Tottenham for obvious reasons when they knocked us out of the Champions League, etc., and they keep beating us every season, despite the fact they're dross. On some level, it is... it's hard. It's a hard way of saying it. It's not gut-wrenching, but I do think there's something... The soul's been taken out of Tottenham Hotspur. It's been replaced with an unbelievable stadium. And on some level, it's a bit like me. I don't want United to succeed, but you want to see United compete on some level. You want to see Spurs in that stadium at least. I mean, I'm an England fan. I want to see Harry Kane. I want to see Harry Kane with a squad where I want to see him doing world-class things. I don't want to see him dragging the ball by himself against Newcastle, a world-class finish. And then they're getting pumped anyway up north, and they got all these fans getting refunded tickets. That was embarrassing by itself.
What did you make of that?
It's a bad precedent.
I hate when people go, we should get our tickets refunded. Bruv, when you go to a football match, you know there's a possibility you're going to lose.
Lose 10-0.
Following Spurs, you know there's a possibility
There's
you're
a
going to
big
lose.
chance. You probably are going to lose the way it's going this season.
But I get leaving early. I'm not going to judge anybody. I personally probably wouldn't. But then, like...
You take the refund, wouldn't you? I mean, if it's offered to you, you take it.
Yeah.
You know, but
like, I saw people saying they should get refunded. Or this is a great gesture. No, it's not.
no.
Because what happens when you lose next time? You're going to get refunded
You didn't
again.
get refunded when you got smashed by Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah.
Did you?
We didn't get refunded when, Ralph
Villarreal.
Rangnick was in charge.
Yeah, when you lost to Villarreal in the Europa League final.
We got beat once off Newcastle 5-0 at
Yeah.
St James's Park.
Didn't ask for a refund then.
Philip Albert. Absolutely dinked Peter Schmeichel. But yeah, I just find that refund thing is a little bit of a weird one. Although Spurs aren't the first team, we must add to that. I think Arsenal fans got refunded when they got their arse handed to them 8-2 by United.
Yeah.
So
I think the big thing that we haven't talked about is Harry Kane. If you're Harry Kane, is there any loyalty? Is this form actually, does it make it easier for you to leave? Because you can say, well, look, I've been let down. I've got Ryan Mason, who's replaced
Daniel Levy's going to
Stellini
make his
mid-season.
life difficult.
But I think with 1 year left on his contract, I think he'll say 100 million quid. I think United would be absolutely crazy. 100 million quid, just get it done. It's very reminiscent of Van Persie for 30 million quid, which seems like a lot of time.
I've flipped and flopped on... I think Harry Kane has been at various points in his career the best striker in the world and is one of the best strikers in the world right now. There's very few strikers better than him. He also has great all-round ability. He's also, although he's had injury issues, which would worry me at times, he's also pretty available most of the time. Scores goals for fun, creates goals, would be absolutely fantastic leading the line. The one thing for me, sometimes you go and get the younger option? Daniel Levy's going to pull your pants down. He's going to be dragging his heels. And that's one of the things that I think he could make Harry Kane's life hell. But Harry Kane could go for free. Does Harry Kane have that nerve though? And that's the thing that Daniel Levy will be playing on. Because if he doesn't have the nerve to go for free, and Daniel Levy goes, let this transfer window close, I bet you any money this guy signs a new deal.
Yeah.
Then I could see Daniel Levy dragging it out. Because no foreign team, I don't think one could attract him. Maybe Real Madrid, PSG would be huge. But I think he wants the Premier League record.
The record. That's his closest opportunity of getting a trophy if he stays at Spurs. What's that documentary about the whales that they're all trapped in the in that big whale farm?
Free Willy.
No, it's Deep Blue or something. But anyway, Harry Kane is a trapped whale. He is. He's a trapped whale at a marine life park. The poor guy.
I remember.
He needs to be let free. It's Deep Blue. Can someone Google that? Anyway, sorry.
Ocean
It's a bit of a tangent, but everyone, if you're listening or watching, you get the point.
Seaspiracy.
No. It's called Deep Blue or something.
Seaspiracy,
or
man.
Blue something. Anyway, look, Harry Kane is a giant whale of world-class talent waiting to be let him go into the ocean, lads. For God's sake. Daniel Levy is going against football principles. He needs to if Alan Shearer left Blackburn to go to Man United, as much Blackburn fans would be thinking, oh, this, that, the other. Yeah, he's going to Man United to win
even if
treble.
he left Newcastle to go to Man United.
Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah, when City, it's a ridiculous thing for Sean Wright-Phillips. When he left Man City, he went to Chelsea. I got that with Mourinho.
Let me ask you this. I know Alan Shearer won a Premier League title at Blackburn, so he's kind of different.
Yeah.
Although, he would still probably have wanted to win more things. Do you think Alan Shearer, deep down, we know what he may say publicly,
On camera, yeah.
regrets not ever going to United?
Yeah, because he spent, how long was it at Newcastle? Was it close to 10 years in total he spent there? Or some 8 years?
Because my question
maybe?
basically is, if Harry Kane at the end of his career is England's leading goal scorer of all time, he's Spurs' leading goal scorer of all time, and he holds the Premier League record, despite not winning anything, would he be disappointed with his career?
Yeah, he would. I think Alan Shearer would look
The only thing he has is, I'm on about Harry Kane here, if the only thing he has is a statue outside White Hart Lane.
Because I think he's already got the record at Spurs. He's got the record at England. He's played Champions League football. He's done almost anything you can do. He's played in cup finals for Spurs. He's played the Champions League final for Spurs. Obviously, they didn't win it. So he's kind of achieved the ceiling at Spurs. He always has. I think he'd look at his age and think from 30 to 33, go off to Man United. win one Premier League. I know it's not the same. Winning a Premier League for Man United would be a little bit heartbreaking if Spurs come 7th that season for Harry Kane. But then he could always look. Football's a very weird sport. There's a lot of returns
Harry Kane
in football.
wouldn't give a shit about Spurs if he won a Premier League title.
Yeah, you're right. And then also people forget he could go back to Spurs.
Yeah,
you know,
good point.
Someone like Robbie Keane left to Liverpool. He tried to win the league with Liverpool, didn't quite work. He goes back to Spurs.
Harry Kane, come to death row. Stop dealing with Daniel Levy, dancing all up in them videos. Come on, do it. You can Robin Van Persie these bitches. Trust me.